Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm going to start this off with a trigger warning because this is going to be a Scientology video. This video is going to contain my opinions on Scientology and can be triggering to those that have religious issues with people having opinions on religions or things of that nature. And if that is triggering to you, go ahead and click off. 2, this may get a little spicy, or I may seem a little agitated because I am tired of having camera issues. I have now lost 3 videos for camera issues. This is a new camera and I'm having problems with it, and I think if I lose one more video, I might lose my mind. I've already filmed this video, sat down to start editing, and I had no sound because I forgot to turn on the mic, which the mic is on. So, we're going to talk today in depth about Scientology and the media. I'm going to be addressing a couple of different topics, but I'm going to go straight to Scientology's website and I'm going to quote their policy on the media. So it says, does Scientology view the press as hostile? No, the church regards the media as an important element of society which, responsibly run and responsibly employed, can accomplish a tremendous amount of good. In point of fact, Scientologists work to protect and maintain the freedom of speech world over. So let me stop there and call bullshit. 1, you do not protect the freedom of speech, not even in your own organization, let alone world over. Because as soon as someone wants to have the freedom of speech, you mark them as a suppressive person. So don't go preaching this bullshit and try to mark it as a wonderful thing to me now, okay? So don't start me with that crap, okay? And if you think the press is such a wonderful thing, then why are people in Scientology not allowed to look on the internet or have a newspaper or have any of these types of things accessible to them? Why is that not allowed, Scientology? Anyway, that being said, the church's view of the press is an accord that held by the general public, who by survey find the press reportage inaccurate, biased, and often shaped by special interests. Now, okay, I'll give you this. Like here in my local area, we have like 3 or 4 news channels, right? Now, if you want to get an accurate story, you're going to have to watch all 3 or 4 news stations and take pieces from this channel and pieces from that channel and pieces from that channel and pieces from that channel, right? But that's all news channels because they're going to skew it based off of their viewpoint on that story, okay? But that's even national news. Like Trump's favorite, Fox and Friends, right? They base it off of their skew point. And CNN bases it off of their skew point. And then, my favorite might base it off of their skew point. That's everybody. Scientology, you base it off of your skew point. And Southern Baptists might base it off of their skew point. And the Catholics base it off their skew point. Everybody has their own viewpoints of things. And they base their storytelling off of that skew point. Everybody does that. Okay? So, it's just a gigantic game of telephone. Like, me and my husband may sit down and watch something. And I go, well, I got this out of that. And me and him are sitting in the exact same room. And he may look at me and go, you're full of shit. It said this. We both have our own viewpoints. That's what makes us individuals. So, I don't want to hear that crap. To rectify the matter, church members follow the Code of Scientology. What is the Code of Scientologists? and work to keep the press accurately informed concerning Scientology and its activities. What's that? Does anybody know? Has anybody talked to a Scientologist? Indeed, the church has diligently worked with the press on thousands of occasions over the years. A responsible press can be an effective instrument for social reform, and many of the church's exposés of human rights abuse only become broadly known through media reportage. In fact, the church's Freedom magazine has honored many journalists who, through their dedication and persistence, have shed light on abuse and helped bring about needed reforms. Now and again, however, less than responsible journalists have willfully misinformed the public about Scientology. As a new religion, there has been mystery, misunderstanding, and a share of controversy that inevitably accompanies the new and different. That is your own fault, because you make it so mysterious and so damn hard to understand because you talk in circles. This is not unique to Scientology, but to spin a sensational tale and so fuel religious bigotry is unconscionable. Not only does it badly serve the general public, but it also places Scientologists at risk. In recent years, church representatives have met with the editorial boards of major media outlets to brief them on Scientology, its policies, and its activities. Really? Which major media outlets? Name them. Which editorial boards? Name them. Name the people you've talked to. These meetings help dispel the rumors and false allegations that have gathered in reference files over the years. Such meetings have been very beneficial for both the church and the journalists. Name the people you've talked to. Give us names. Tell us which people you have talked to, which major news organizations you've talked to. Give us names. Tell us, and we'll leave you alone. But you can't, because it's never fucking happened. Alright, so I'm going to use that as a segue into what happened at Super Bowl last night. So last night, Scientology aired a commercial during Super Bowl. It only aired in certain markets, and to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure if it aired in my market or not, because I had to work last night, and so I slept through Super Bowl. But I did look it up on YouTube. Oh, let me get to that. It was called Curiosity. It is a 37-second video. And to tell you the truth, I have no idea what it was about. Because like most things with Scientology, it's a riddle. But here's the part what makes it all interesting, and this is what garners a video about it. So this aired in certain markets. Like I said, I don't even know if it aired in my market or not, but there was a Planters peanut ad that was, I guess, aired right after it with a Mr. Peanut. Everybody knows Mr. Peanut. Everybody loves Mr. Peanut. But Mr. Peanut was kind of like sidestepping and kind of like, and kind of walking off stage. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't kind of, he's just kind of sidestepping and kind of looking kind of funny and stepping off camera. And it aired after the Scientology video. Everybody thought it was hilarious. My Twitter blew up last night after all of this. And everybody thought it was funny. Leah, Mike, everybody kind of was commenting about it. It was hilarious. Well, now the Scientologists that be are now calling it, quote, anti-religious bigotry, which one, I need you to get your syntax correct, because if you're calling it anti-religious bigotry, what you're saying is it's against anti-religion, which would be a good thing, wouldn't it? But so they're trying to say that it's being against Scientology and they're out for Mr. Peanut's monocle, I guess. And, you know, apparently, you know, Mr. Peanut needs to run and hide before he gets locked away with Shelley Miscavige somewhere up in the mountains. And, so this is my whole viewpoint on it. You already know that there's a lot of heat on you. Okay? I mean, people have been asking some very deep questions you don't have answers for. One, it's the top of the list is where the hell Shelley Miscavige is, and you still haven't produced her. 2 is everybody is coming for you on why people have to pay so much money to be a part of your religion. And, you know, people are bringing out about these abuses and the child labor laws and, you know, you bankrupting people and all of this stuff. But then you dare to put on a commercial during one of the most beloved traditions in the United States. Definitely with one of, like, the biggest teams that people are going to watch. I mean, I'm not a Patriots fan. I think Tom Brady whines too much, but that's my personal opinion, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that one, but I'm not a Tom Brady fan at all. But I also don't watch a whole lot of NFL as it is. I think they lose passion for the game once they start making the big money. But that is my personal opinion, and y'all can hate me for that if you want to. But you put on a commercial for a religion that is already gaining a lot of heat during one of the most beloved traditions where there are a lot of people consuming alcohol, and you don't think somebody's going to do something that, or say something that you're not going to like? Have y'all been smoking a whole lot of weed lately? Like, are y'all passing the peace pipe around at Scientology headquarters? Is that what y'all are doing up there with all the alien tech? Is that what y'all do behind closed doors? Is that the real tea? Is that the real tea? Okay, so I say all of that to lead into this next part. Now, Leah Remini also was talking about the aftermath letters in one of the previous episodes. Now, they're also talking about all of this press and press and press and press. Well, let's talk about some of their press, okay? So, during the production of the Leah Remini Scientology and the Aftermath series, representatives of the Church of Scientology International, CSI for short, sent the producers a number of letters that included the church's response to some of the information it anticipated would be in the program, and their character analysis and criticism of the principal subjects of each episode. The CSI has encouraged the production team to utilize the information provided to present a more balanced and accurate picture to our viewers. By sharing this information, A&E is not attesting to the veracity of the church's claims, but has included them so that the church's views are more fully presented. So, we're going to go back to, doesn't even tell me what season these are, but we're going back to, it says, Episode 7, Enemies of the Church. This goes back to Brandon Rissendorf. And let me just give you kind of a rundown of who Brandon is. Brandon, this episode focused on 2 subjects. Brandon Rissendorf and his family experiences with Scientology, mental illness, and his ultimate prosecution for vandalism of the Church of Scientology of Los Angeles, and a discussion among a panel of journalists who have reported on Scientology. So those were the two sets of people that were that were focused on in that episode. The church did not send a letter specific to any of the participants in the episode. However, on September 9th, 2016, a letter discussing Ms. Remini, the church discussed Brandon Russendorf's arrest and suggested that Ms. Remini inspired his actions. So here's the letter. It's dated September 9th of 2016, and it's to the executive producer and the production team. It says this letter. Okay, I have to click on these and open them. This is going to be a process, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Come on, work with me. Okay, here we go. This letter addresses the anti-Scientologist host of your program. Now, when I read this, you're going to see how they downgrade each person, but then you're also going to see how they downgrade this show, okay? So your anti-Scientologist host of your program, Ms. Remini, is not capable of being objective about Scientology religion, as she has previously demonstrated. A program about our religion hosted by Ms. Remini is doomed to be a cheap reality TV show by a has-been actress now a decade removed from the peak of her career. Unable to move on with her life, Ms. Remini has been a cottage industry out of whining both about her former religion that expelled her as well as her former friends she alienated with her unending bitterness and seething anger. Rather than letting go, Ms. Remini has doubled down on her obsessive hatred, turning into the obnoxious, spiteful ex-Scientologist she once vowed she would never become. Now, as a religious organization, where in there do you hear any love, forgiveness, understanding? I don't hear any of that shit. I hear a bunch of backstabbing, two-facedness, underhandedness, bitter seething. I mean, that sounds more like somebody that was like your best friend in high school who got upset because you turned out better looking than they did, kind of thing. Moreover, Ms. Remini is a hypocrite. She disingenuously preaches letting go. Those who are free of resentful thoughts surely find peace, less hate, more love, and if you are depressed, you are living in the past. Yet it's Ms. Remini who lives in the past, spreading hate and resentfulness while refusing to let it go. Sounds like somebody else is refusing to let it go. I mean, she's out of your damn church. Why the hell are you obsessing over her? So let's see. That's just page 1. That's just their opening bit. They haven't gotten good and started yet. So let's see what they want to follow up with. Let's see. For someone who claims to be a feminist supporting the rights of women, she inexplicably embraces and features on your show the likes of Ron Miscavige, who admitted beating his late wife once a month for a decade, as well as 2 other vicious wife beaters in Mike Rinder and Tom DeVach. She preaches less hate and more love, yet showcases an angry, mean individual in Mark Henley. His own mother will tell you he once tried to drown her. What the fuck? I really want to know what the flying fuck this church is doing. Well, hold on. this church is doing. It's like they try to dig up every piece of dirt they possibly can. This is not a religious order. This is like high school all the fucking way over again. Let's see here. That's because Miss Remini tosses out her principles if she smells a buck. Since 2013, she has shamelessly exploited her former affiliation with the Church of Scientology as her primary source of income. Really? Because, I mean, I think she's in a, like, hit movie with Jennifer Lopez. I mean, just saying. I mean, she's been on TV. Like, what are y'all kind of exploiting everybody that joins your church. I mean, just to make up your damn mind whether you want to be a part of the church or not, it's going to cost you $205 fucking dollars. So, I mean, where the hell do you get off talking about anybody exploiting anybody for any kind of money? I'm just saying. Moving right along. Let's see. Following her initial flurry of press coverage, Miss Remini desperately sought more fame and attention by filing a fraudulent missing person report with the Los Angeles Police Department about the wife of the leader of the religion. It was part of her harassment campaign cooked up with Mike Render in tandem with Mark and Claire Headley and shamelessly promoted by Tony Ortega. Really? Because there's several people that haven't seen Shelley Miscavige. Miss Remini used an acquaintance of hers at the LAPD to personally file the report, which she quickly leaked to the media. But it all blew up in her face when the LAPD took the extraordinary step of thoroughly debunking to the media Miss Remini's absurd claim within hours, calling it unfounded. Miss Remini wasted valuable public resources in an attempt to viciously harass the church leader's wife, whom Miss Remini has obsessively stalked. I think Leah showed that Shelley and her used to write letters to each other, like, all the time. But, okay, whatever. In her autobiography, Miss Remini made the mind-boggling admission that she filed her false police report so that she would be expelled from the church, and that would be the end. The irony is that by the time Miss Remini filed the report, she was already expelled. Miss Remini was dishonest in her book, failing to disclose that the friend at the police department she filed it with had moonlighted as her personal security on one of her television shows and was trying to break into the personal security business. That the Los Angeles Police Department was able to dispose of Miss Remini's publicity stunt so quickly is not surprising. Oh my God, can you all get a life? And I mean, this is just like the kind of just mindless bullshit. Then they go like 5 pages into this letter. They take quotes of her from when she was like still like deep believer. 1998, 2001, 2002, 2003. They take these quotes of her saying how great and good and everything is in Scientology. And then they put in here the arrest report for the guy that got arrested and all that stuff. Okay, she, in 1998, 2001, 2002, 2003, she still believed everything. She was still a great Scientologist. Woohoo, go Scientology. It wasn't until her eyes were open. So why are you going to throw in when she thought everything was good and great and woohoo? That's stupid. Moving on to episode 6, where they're talking about auditing. We're going to talk about Aaron Smith Levin. He was in the Sea Org, and he talks about issues that he has with leaving and that. So let's read what the great and wonderful Scientology has to say about this person, okay? So, as I mentioned in my letters, I will be providing you with information about the individuals we believe will be featured in your so-called docu-series on the Church of Scientology. I'm also reiterating once again that the Church offered to me in the interest of a fair and balanced program to provide you relevant information on the credibility of your sources, which will allow you to ensure accuracy. It would be reckless for A&E television networks and Slauson Productions to air probable lies by disregarding relevant facts. While you did not inform us that you intended to use Aaron Smith Levin as a source, we have been notified by his in-laws that you reached out to them. Okay, one, I don't give a flying fuckery who you think you are. If I decided that in my little unimportant YouTube channel that I wanted to reach out to Joe Blow's in-laws and be like, hey, Joe Blow's in-laws, Joe Blow's was in Scientology, and I'd like to speak to you about him being in Scientology. I don't have to run it by Scientology to talk to Joe Blow's in-laws. Neither does A&E. A&E doesn't have to say, hey, we're going to talk to Joe Blow's in-laws. Is that okay with you? Anyway. The purpose of this letter is to appraise you of the facts related to Smith Levin. So you have untainted truth, notably that that he was expelled for violent behavior, especially toward women. In 2002, Smith Levin decided he wanted to commit his life to the service of the church and its humanitarian mission, and he joined the church's religious order, the Sea Organization. He was a member of the Sea Organization from August 2002 to April 2006 when his membership was terminated after a series of physically abusive and violent attacks on fellow staff members. In April 2003, he was disciplined after he got into an argument with a woman who was his immediate supervisor, and he slammed her against the wall. They go into a bunch of degrading things about him. They say in all 100 separate reports were written about Smith Levin being abusive towards others. Of those reports, 20 included him being physically violent with others. Okay, if you have over 100 reports, where are they? Produce them. Show them to the world. Bring them out. Anyway, they kind of go through talking about how he's a violent bully and all this and that, and he's been so mean and so such and such. Then they're talking about how in a letter to Ann Tozier, which is Smith Levin's mother-in-law, he states that Smith Levin has claimed that he is no longer in contact with his in-laws due to the policy of disconnection. According to Ms. Tozier, Smith Levin is the one who estranged himself from her and her husband through his own vicious attacks. So they're saying that he's violent. He decided that his own actions, that's the reason why he cut off the communication between them. They didn't do anything. Okay, having cut himself off from former friends and family, he now rants about his time on staff, feeding his hateful lies to hate blogger Tony Ortega and doing YouTube interviews with Mike Render and other members of anti-Scientology clique. Now bitter at being expelled and having severed all ties with the church and his own in-laws, he has formed an alliance with Render, a man who abandoned his wife of 30 years and 2 adult children without a word when he was not acting as house painter for Smith Levin in his house flipping business. Render gets paid $175 an hour to consult with attorneys seeking to make a buck suing the church. Your use of a violent, bitter former member to forward an attack on a religion is bigotry in the raw. You should see it for what it is and refrain from forwarding this hate speech. Once you consider the information we are providing, it will be clear to A&E TV and Slauson Productions that Smith Levin is lying about his family and former church to cover up his own history of erratic, violent behavior. Aaron Smith Levin is not a credible source to discuss his former church. As I expressed in my earlier letters, to ensure fairness, I feel that at a minimum you need to review issues that are extremely relevant to your program, rate the credibility of your sources, disclose their biases to your viewers, and give the church an opportunity to respond to any allegations you plan to include in your program. All of these are signed, regards, Karen Powell. Now, I'm going to stop there. There are several more letters. We can go through a few more letters and other videos because I'm sure the church is going to continue to spout out more and more hate, because that's kind of what they do. But I don't think my brain can take anymore, frankly. And the next set is going to be on Mark and Claire Headley, and I could just feel myself seething at this point. They do not have anything nice to say about any of these people at all, ever. All they can say is everything negative about these people. All the time. Absolutely all the time. It's negative. And here's my thing. You're supposed to be a religious order. You're supposed to be teaching people to be better about themselves. But you're acting like a bunch of children. Do better. So, I'm going to stop this video there. We're just pretty much, this has been all about their media handling, period. How they handle the media, how they react to the media, how they handle any attacks, how they handle any of that outside of themselves. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any information on any of what I've talked about today, leave a comment down below, or come find me on my social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And let me know, what are your opinions on Scientology's reaction to the media? Scientology's reaction to Planners and Mr. Peanut, because I found that hilarious. And do you think Mr. Peanut's going to end up with Shelley Miscavige locked away somewhere? And what are your reactions to some of these letters that they're writing in reference to some of these people that are showing up on Leah Remini's The Aftermath? Let me know. If you have any topics that you want to see on Scientology from a Scientologist perspective, let me know. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Ring that bell so that you're notified every single time that I upload. And I will see you guys on the next one. Talk to you later, guys.